Welcome to ProjectME the Podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multi-millionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME the Podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. You all know I love sharing my secrets of how I went from $17,000 a year to a multi-millionaire. My top essential tool for managing my two successful businesses, plus my crazy life, is my paper planner. But not any random planner, specifically my Inner Guide yearly planner. The Inner Guide planner doesn't just organize my schedule, it helps me map out and discover my goals, dreams, self-care, and keeps my millionaire mindset on track. I want you all to get planning right away for 2019. So I arranged to get a special Inner Guide discount exclusive to my ProjectME posse. Go pick out your favorite yearly planner at inner-guide.com. And at checkout, use the code ProjectME 15% off, and you will receive 15% off your entire order. If you are driving or multitasking and can't write this down, the Inner Guide link and code is in my Instagram bio at ProjectME with Tiffany. And remember, as I always say, you are either planning for success or heading to failure. You are listening to the podcast ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. This is episode 50, 3 things you can do today to make extra cash. Well, who wouldn't want to listen to this? And no, you are not going to hear the same stuff that you've heard many people tout over and over again. If you've listened to me before, you know that I always tell you something different, or I am teaching you something that you've heard before in a different way, something you've not heard before. Otherwise, there'd be no point to the show, and I value your time and my own. So let's get to it. Number 1, I just have to say this. It is incredibly annoying and it hurts my ears when I hear people say, whether it's directly to me or I overhear them at Starbucks or whatever, when I hear them say, I'm broke, I don't have money, I can't afford that, I can't do that. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. I'm struggling. Oh, I live paycheck to paycheck. It really grates on me. And the reason is it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, there are always extraordinary circumstances with people, okay? I'm aware of that. But those are less than 1% of people, especially here in America where we have so many opportunities for us. And quite frankly, for my Canadian listeners, my listeners in Europe, the same holds true in those areas as well. I highly doubt I have a large audience base that's in third world countries. Really, I mean, let's think about that. I think the last thing they're doing is listening to a podcast if they have internet at all. So everyone who's listening to this show, I know that you guys have the tools and you have the ability to make cash. You are not strapped for cash. That is a mindset poverty mentality. And I hear it over and over again. Even clients that are paying me, they came to pay me, yet money mindset poverty crap always comes up. I am blown away by how much it comes up. I probably shouldn't be because I have struggled with the mindset stuff before in my life. And you guys have maybe heard other episodes where I lost 3/4 of my entire net worth that I built up, almost $1 million because of it. So I'm really passionate about making sure we get you guys on not just a money mindset, but a millionaire mindset track, because I don't want what happened to me to happen to you, which is you could actually have that success and then lose it all. And we see this commonly with people who win the lotto. Did you know it's some crazy percentage? Over 85% of people who win the lotto end up bankrupt. Isn't that insane? Because just because you win the money, or just because you made money off of a successful company, or a stock, or selling a house or something, that has nothing to do with your mindset and your belief that you deserve that money, or your skill set and knowing what to do with it. It's just insane the amount of ways we do self-sabotage when it comes to cash. It's really unbelievable. So one of the ways that I teach to get into a millionaire mindset is getting into a space of empowerment versus being a victim of not being paid enough. My boss is an asshole. I don't get paid enough. Oh, I'm in network marketing, but no one wants to buy. Or one of the famous ones, the economy is bad, so no one's hiring. And P.S., I made more money during one of our worst economies in American history. Just so you know. And I know other people who did as well. But I also heard so many people blaming the economy, or my husband is such a spender and we don't have money because of that, or the kids. Those are just all stories we tell ourselves, and that's putting ourselves in a victim mindset at the mercy of our own circumstances, of someone else, even if it's a health condition. Well, I have to spend so money on doctors and supplements, or for myself or for my kid. I'm not saying that that's not true, but stating it in that way puts you as a helpless victim, and that there's no inspiration that can come out of that. No ideas can come out of that. And by the way, almost no opportunities to make money and make wealth will come out of it or be attracted to you when you're in that kind of poverty victim mindset. It's just not going to happen. So that's why poverty breeds more poverty. And you know that saying, well, the rich keep getting richer? Well, there's a reason for that. The rich keep getting rich. I don't want to go too deep down that one, but the mindset part of it is when you're feeling abundant and you believe in abundance, you attract more opportunities to become more abundant. But you don't have to be wealthy to adopt that abundant mindset. Okay, just listen to my episodes enough times and you'll get a clue of what I'm talking about. So the 3 ways that you can make extra cash literally starting today. So I don't want to hear from anybody that you don't have the money to do this, that, or the other. You don't have the money to hire me, but you want to hire me as your business coach. Or you really want to take this course at a college, but you don't have the money. Or you really need to buy a new laptop for your business, but you don't have the money. You will find a way to get the money. Just change that verbiage right there. I just want to start out with that. I want this. I will find a way to make it happen. Period. Instead of saying I don't have. We picked a lot of that up from childhood. It's like, oh, we don't have the money for that, honey. We can't buy the toy. We don't have the money. You got to reframe that. You'll find a way that instantly elevates you, makes you feel empowered, that you're in control of your life, your outcome, your destiny, versus being kind of squished down in a low vibe victim mode. Doesn't work, not a fan, and I don't allow anyone I work with to talk like that. But it takes a little practice in order to shift your mindset and our self-talk and even our talk to others. But I always make sure I catch my clients and I tell them about it. Or even if you guys write comments on my Instagram or Facebook at ProjectME with Tiffany, or Twitter at Tiff Carter for you, if I see any of your comments or DMs are in that kind of low vibe poverty mindset, I know that you might not even be aware of it. The likelihood is that you are not. So I reframe it for you so you can see the difference in how that feels. So just saying, you're not going to get away with it with me. All right, let's get to the first way that you can make extra cash starting today. So if you are on social media, which the stats show that pretty much it's almost 100% of people who listen to podcasts have at least a Facebook, a Twitter, an Instagram. So I'm safe to say that you guys have a social media account. So you're on social media, and if you already have started like a personal brand, or you actually have a company, or you're just beginning to start one, whatever phase you're in, as long as you have an actual account on social media that is more professional. You're not just showing like, I ate cereal for breakfast, or, sharing cute photos of your kids for grandma, grandpa. Like, you have an actual personal branded Instagram or Facebook page. What you can do is you can reach out to other digital entrepreneurs, people like myself. I can throw out some other examples like a Jenna Kutcher or a Kayla Kraft, who is Mommy Millionaire. People like that. Even, Chris Harder, For the Love of Money, Lori Harder. These are people who are... Sorry, I had to pause because I had a full coughing attack. That was fun. So these are people who are digital entrepreneurs, meaning they make money off of selling things digitally, whether it is live events, it is virtual masterminds, courses, they have books, maybe they have a podcast, whatever it is that they sell, they use social media, they use their website to sell it. It could also be someone who has tangible items. Like it could be inner guide planners, for example, that sell amazing goal setting planners and annual planners. So whatever it is they're selling, they have an online component. You can reach out to them, whether it is through email or, as I like to recommend, message them or direct message them. And you can see if they offer any affiliate program. And for those of you who don't know what that is, the long and the short of it is they basically will pay you a cut for every single thing you sell for them. So they give you a code or a special link. So let's say it is, someone has, a higher end course. Usually you want to do something that's a bigger ticket item, not a low ticket item, because you're not going to make as much off each one. And of course, it needs to be something that you really love, you believe in, maybe you own it, you use it, you've participated in it. It needs to be, authentic, or you're not going to be able to sell it. And you just ask them if they have any kind of affiliate program. So let's just say they have a digital course that's $1,000. Let's keep the math simple for me, since I'm doing it in my head. I don't want to hurt myself. They have $1,000 digital course, and maybe it's, on teaching health trainers, fitness trainers, health coaches, how they can make more money in their health coaching business or something like that. And you're someone who's really into health, or maybe you really admire that person and you've been following them for a while and you believe in their message and their products. So you can ask them, and they likely, if they're smart, will say, yes. And they give you the details. So let's say every person you send that ends up purchasing this $1,000 course, if they're smart, they give you a pretty substantial cut of this. I mean, like, you could get easily $400 per each one, just by simply, bragging about how awesome the person is, kind of selling it and sharing your experience with them and your Instagram stories. And the people who are doing really well in this space, and this is exactly what I also coach people on, is when you have a digital product, especially when it's at a higher price point, it is pure craziness to not offer your affiliates a huge chunk. I mean, I personally think it needs to be 35 to 40%. For sure, in order for people to get really excited to do that. Gabby Bernstein does an amazing job at this. When she comes out with one of her Spirit Junkie masterclasses, you will see some of the top, so to speak, #boss babes in the business. They're pushing her course because maybe they took it back in the day. And for everyone they sell, because her courses, I think, are like $1,500-$1,600, she gives a huge cutaway. I mean, I even think she gives 50%. Don't quote me on that, but it's something that's substantial. Therefore, she gets big influencers and gets people really excited, because you didn't create it. This person already has a really good name and a reputation. You're just pushing your audience and your people towards it. And you don't have to have some massive social media following in order to reach out to these people to ask them if they have an affiliate program. You could have 300 people. When I when I launch a signature course of mine that is a higher ticket level, because obviously it's going to be, very high value and a lot of access to me, I would give, without a doubt, my plan is to give between 40 and 50% of that profit, of that cut, to the people who are marketing it for me. And I would not care if you contacted me and you had 100 followers on Instagram. I would absolutely, as long as I knew that, I could verify that you were, you weren't a bot and you weren't some weird, random, creepy person. You were actually someone who legitimately believes in me and my work and my message. Why wouldn't I want, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 25,000 people helping me sell my product to their audience? Do you see what I'm saying? So the work here is you already know people who you admire in the space, who you've seen, sell digital products, or maybe they have books, or they have a program or something like that, a mastermind. Reach out to them, DM them, and don't just DM them and say, oh, how much do I get for this? Like, DM them and tell them, like, you admire them, you love their message and what they stand for, and you really would like to support, their latest course or their mastermind. And is there an affiliate program? Because you really feel you could share that with a lot of people in your audience, and you wanted to see if that was something that's available. And if they don't write you back, I would be very concerned. So there's one way, and you don't have to do anything other than create content, reach out to the person and create content in order to, share your experience about that person and share it with your audience. That's all you have to do. You didn't have to create the mastermind, the course, the workbook, the whatever it is. So that's something you could literally start doing today. And it's the perfect season to start doing it, because a lot of digital entrepreneurs really amp up programs at the end of the year and at the beginning of a new year. So number 2 is, and this one is actually really fun and also perfect to do at the end of a year or a beginning of a new year. And that is, go clean out your dang closet and your house. In fact, go clean out your spouse's or boyfriend or girlfriend's closet as well, and list stuff on Poshmark. Create a Poshmark store. If you don't know what that is, just go to Poshmark and you'll see. And it's really simple. And remember, I'm not, Miss Tech Savvy. That's why I teach non-tech savvy entrepreneurs how to make cash online, because I've made a ton of cash and I'm not tech savvy. So Poshmark is really cool. And, obviously items that have a designer type label sell more, but it doesn't even have to be a huge brand. It doesn't have to be, a Louis Vuitton, a Chanel. It doesn't have to be that. It could be a Michael Kors bag from 5 seasons ago, and you want to go pick out some of your best stuff. And even if you've worn it 52 times, but you take really good care of that blazer, that jacket, those shoes, that purse, this shit sells. And it's not hard to put up there, and you create a shop and people follow each other's shop. So picture almost like an Etsy and an eBay in one, but it's done really, really well. And you can actually almost create your own little brand or interject your brand in there. Cara from the Champagne Diet, she has her own Poshmark store, and her whole thing is, high luxury, and loves doing vintage shopping. So she even goes and hunts around New York City for high-end vintage, Chanel bags. I mean, she does a higher end item, but that's her brand. Brooches, tops, things like that. So she'll even buy stuff to then go resell it on Poshmark, obviously with an upcharge, because she should make money. She's the one who went out and hunted for it and put it on there. And then she'll also sell stuff out of her own collection. So you can even have this be an extension of your brand as well. Go check that out. Plus, it's fun to do. And when you're sitting around with your family on the holidays or at the airport, you can really get a lot of stuff done. I'm just saying. Okay. And the third way that you can make extra cash starting today is have no shame in your game. And you can literally, and if you want to create a separate Instagram for this, a separate Facebook for this, that's okay. But be a virtual assistant or a content creator. I'm telling you from experience, tons of us online entrepreneurs who are also influencers. The hardest part about this business in terms of what takes so much time and energy, and it's insane, is how much content you need. Meaning you need articles, you need to create freebies, you need Instagram posts, Facebook posts, Twitter, YouTube videos, and it has to be constant and 7 days a week and all the time, and has to be great quality and on brand and da 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 da. It is a lot. It is not possible for any one of us to be doing this all ourselves. When you get to a certain level, you end up hiring people to help you with it, even though you oversee all of it to make sure it's your voice, your message, your brand. But you have to have help in this. And we're constantly looking for creative people to help us create content. So literally be smart about it, but you can even create, I don't care if you're creating a separate Instagram or in your own Instagram, you can then put in there, that you're a content creator, like hashtag content creator, and make sure you have keywords in there so people can find you. And I should say go on Upwork.com, which is a place a lot of online entrepreneurs and female business owners in general. My other business isn't a digital based business, and I go to Upwork all the time. And you go on Upwork and put yourself out there. Put yourself out there that you are. What do? You are a virtual content creator. That is, and get in detail. What do you create? You write blog posts, you write emails, you will create quotes, which you can do free on Canva. You put every single thing you'll do in the content space on what you can do. And I guarantee I'd be shocked if you didn't get work. And if content creating isn't your jam, then do a virtual assistant approach. So you can that's how I found one of my virtual assistants that I recently hired. Is she has virtual assistant like literally in her name, and I searched for virtual assistant on Instagram. She actually was already a fan and followed me and listened to my podcast and reached out to me, but I would have ended up finding someone like her anyway, because that's where I search. I search in a space that I use all the time. So you can literally put on there your virtual assistant. You can also do that on Upwork and make sure you include all the tasks that you will do that would take so much off the plate of someone, for example, like me. And this is paid. You can live anywhere in the world. You can be on a different time zone. I could care less. And it's actually, kind of fun to do. It's not really that hard. It's something that's like fun to do as long as you really believe in that person and their message. And if you don't want to wait and you want that extra cash like now, and you don't want to wait for someone to just find you, which of course I don't recommend, last time I checked, that's not how we find jobs or clients, then you go and find people like me, people who are in the space that you can tell are really growing and have a lot going on. DM us, DM me. That is truly how my virtual assistant that I just hired to do a lot of high level content for me, that is how she found me. So just DM us and say, this is what I do, and I can see you're really growing in this space and probably could use the extra help. Would you like me to send you, more information about my services? I'm telling you, let's just say you sat down one night and you sent it to 30 different female entrepreneurs, or 30 different entrepreneurs in general. They don't have to be female. I'd be shocked if you did not land a job off that. That's how, especially if you are listing all the things you can do and you can really do them, and you're willing to give them, samples of your work or do a trial or something like that. If you're not established, we are so desperate for finding good, creative, high vibe people to create content for us and help us with that workload. It is in high demand. And when something's in high demand, take advantage of it and go for it. So I hope these 3 ideas helped inspire you to make some extra cash right now, whether you want to make it right now for the holidays or make a whole business out of it. Go for it. I mean, that's why I shared these with you, because I don't want to hear anymore, I don't have the cash, I can't afford it. Instead, say, I want X and I'm going to find a way to pay for it. Period. End of story. All right, guys. Well, as always, wishing you great health, wealth, and worth. And if you got a lot out of this episode, please take 30 seconds, go on iTunes, leave a 5-star written review. This really helps keep this show going. And it also lets me know which episodes you really resonated with. It helps. I'm not just saying that for an ego purpose. It really helps in terms of the production quality and for me to be able to keep pouring money, time, and energy into creating a show that I know you guys really love. So I would really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.